If you're over 60 and you've noticed your legs feel heavier, your feet colder, and your mornings less energetic, you might think it's just aging. But that's not entirely true. These are often the first whispers of something deeper, signs that your blood flow has slowed down, that your cells are no longer receiving the oxygen and nutrients they once did. And when that happens, something else fades quietly: your virility. Most men don't realize this. They wait until the symptoms become too loud to ignore. The difficulty maintaining an erection, the lowered desire, the unspoken frustration. In silence, they blame the years, but the truth? Age is only the stage. The real actor is your circulatory system, and it's calling for help. You see, an erection isn't just about desire or hormones. It's a finely tuned response of your vascular health. Your arteries need to expand, your blood flow must intensify, and your nerves must fire on command. But if your vessels are clogged, your blood thick, or your nutrition poor, nothing happens. Not at night, not in the morning, not ever. And yet, many men suffer in silence. They're embarrassed, they're ashamed, they retreat, emotionally, physically, even spiritually. But the body keeps talking. The cold feet, the numb toes, the tingling legs, the sluggish mornings, they're all connected. They're not separate issues. They're signals, early warnings that your blood no longer flows the way it used to. Now here's the part no one tells you. This isn't irreversible. You don't have to accept this slow decline, because with the right foods that your grandfather probably knew but forgot, you can change this. You can reactivate your blood flow, awaken your natural nitric oxide production, and restore a strength you thought was gone forever. But before we get to those foods, you need to understand one thing. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming control. You may not be 25 again, but you can still feel confident, potent, and alive. And it starts by listening to what your legs, your heart, and your body have been trying to tell you all along. So before we dive into the foods, take a moment, breathe, and know this. The first step is not in a pill, not in a doctor's office. It's in awareness. Awareness that what you feel today isn't permanent, that the man you were is still there, waiting. You just have to feed him right. You may have never heard of it, but your body has. Every cell in your system depends on it, especially those responsible for energy, blood circulation, and hormone production. And after age 60, it begins to disappear silently. The name of this lost hero? Magnesium. Magnesium is more than just a mineral. It's a master regulator. It controls over 300 biochemical reactions in your body, including those that affect your blood pressure, muscle function, and yes, your ability to achieve and maintain an erection. Without it, your arteries become stiff, your nerves misfire, and your testosterone begins to sink. But here's the catch. Magnesium deficiency doesn't always show up on basic blood tests. It creeps in quietly, through fatigue, anxiety, poor sleep, and lowered libido. You might be wondering, why does this happen with age? The answer lies in your gut. As you get older, your digestive system becomes less efficient at absorbing key nutrients. On top of that, medications commonly prescribed to seniors, like diuretics, antacids, and blood pressure pills, deplete magnesium even faster. So while your need for this mineral increases, your body becomes worse at holding on to it. And it shows. A study published in Biological Trace Element Research found that men over 60 with low magnesium levels had significantly lower testosterone. Another clinical review linked magnesium deficiency directly with erectile dysfunction, poor sleep, and arterial calcification. In plain terms, your body needs magnesium to keep your blood flowing and your hormones firing. Now let's talk about symptoms. If you've experienced muscle cramps, restless legs at night, irregular heartbeats, or numbness in your hands and feet, these are red flags. Your body is waving its arms, shouting for help, and the longer you ignore it, the louder the consequences become. But there's good news. Magnesium is one of the easiest deficiencies to correct, if you know where to look. Leafy greens like spinach and kale, nuts like almonds and cashews, seeds like pumpkin and chia, and even dark chocolate, yes really, are excellent sources. And when combined with proper hydration and a lower intake of processed food, your absorption skyrockets. Still, the most important part isn't just what you eat, it's when and how. Magnesium-rich foods are best consumed in the evening. Why? Because they don't just help your blood vessels relax, they help you sleep deeper. And better sleep means better hormone regulation, which means better mornings and stronger performance. This is the first key to reclaiming your vitality. Not a stimulant, not a blue pill, but a mineral that time and modern diets tried to erase from your life. Bring it back, and you're not just feeding your body, you're waking up a part of yourself that's been asleep for too long. Don't miss what's next, because the first 3 erection-boosting foods are coming, and they may already be in your kitchen. You don't need a laboratory or a synthetic pill to restore your circulation. Sometimes, nature hides the most powerful solutions in the simplest places, in roots, leaves, and seeds that our ancestors used instinctively. What modern science now confirms, ancient traditions already knew. Certain foods have the power to open up blood vessels, improve nitric oxide levels, and restore erectile function in ways that no prescription ever could. Let's begin with the first, beetroot. This crimson root is one of the most potent natural vasodilators known to man. Beets are rich in nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, the same molecule responsible for relaxing and widening blood vessels. More blood flow means more energy, more oxygen to your muscles, and yes, stronger erections. One study from the British Journal of Clinical Pharmacology showed a significant increase in blood vessel flexibility just hours after consuming beet juice. Even athletes now use it to boost performance. So why wouldn't you? To get the full benefit, consume beets raw or lightly steamed, ideally in the morning or early afternoon. A small glass of beet juice, half a cup of roasted beets in a salad, or a blended beet smoothie with ginger can change how your blood flows within days. Next, meet the watermelon, a fruit so common it's often underestimated. But hidden in its juicy red flesh is an amino acid called citrulline, which the body also converts into nitric oxide. Citrulline helps relax blood vessels, improve circulation, and reduce blood pressure. In one study published in Urology, men who took citrulline supplements showed improved erection hardness and sexual satisfaction compared to those on placebo. But here's the beauty: you don't need the pill. Fresh watermelon, especially the white part close to the rind, is rich in citrulline. Eating it chilled during the day, particularly before or after a walk, gives your body a cooling, circulation-boosting reward. And now, the third powerhouse, garlic. Yes, garlic. The humble kitchen staple that has been used for thousands of years, not just for flavor, but for healing. Garlic contains allicin, a compound that improves blood flow and reduces plaque buildup in arteries. According to a study in the Journal of Nutrition, aged garlic extract significantly improved arterial elasticity in older adults. More elasticity means better blood pressure control and better function where it matters most. The best way to use garlic for circulation isn't cooked, it's raw. Crushing or finely chopping a garlic clove and letting it sit for 10 minutes before swallowing it with water unlocks its full potential. You can also mix it with a bit of olive oil and lemon as a morning tonic. Just remember, consistency is everything. These are not exotic superfoods. They are simple, accessible, and, when used daily, transformative. Combined, they act like a natural prescription for your blood vessels. They clear the path, remove the blockages, and allow your body to respond the way it was always meant to. So the next time you see a beet, a watermelon slice, or a clove of garlic, don't see a food, see a second chance. See vitality, see the return of what you thought was gone. Stay with me, because in the next section, we'll expose a healthy breakfast habit that silently destroys your testosterone before your day even begins. Every morning, millions of older adults start their day with a routine that feels safe, even healthy. A slice of whole wheat toast, a glass of orange juice, a bowl of cereal labeled heart healthy. But behind these innocent habits lies one of the biggest threats to your testosterone, your circulation, and ultimately, your sexual vitality. Let's be clear, not all breakfast is bad, but one specific mistake is silently sabotaging your hormones before the sun is even high in the sky. The culprit? Refined carbohydrates combined with high fructose fruits, eaten on an empty stomach. Here's what happens. When you wake up, your body is naturally in a fasted, insulin-sensitive state. Your cortisol levels are elevated, not because you're stressed, but because that's how your body prepares to wake up and get moving. If you flood your system with fast-digesting sugars like toast, cereal, fruit juice, or even healthy granola, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. Your pancreas responds by pumping out insulin to control the surge. And while that's happening, your testosterone? It crashes. Multiple studies confirm the link. One from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that men who consumed high-carb breakfasts had a significant drop in testosterone levels within just 30 minutes, and that suppression lasted up to 3 hours. Think about that. Before you've even left your home, your body has already downregulated the one hormone you need most for vitality, motivation, and yes, sexual performance. And that orange juice, often marketed as a vitamin C bomb, it's also a fructose overload. Unlike glucose, fructose is processed directly by the liver. Excess intake leads to fatty liver, increased estrogen, and systemic inflammation. 3 enemies of male health over 60. Inflammation narrows blood vessels. Estrogen disrupts testosterone balance. And fatty liver slows everything, including nitric oxide production. So what should breakfast look like instead? Option 1. Eggs with spinach and olive oil. High in protein, rich in magnesium, and full of uracil, a nutrient that boosts neurotransmitters tied to arousal and mental clarity. Option 2. Chia pudding with unsweetened almond milk, crushed walnuts, and cinnamon. This combination supports blood sugar control, improves circulation, and provides omega-3s, essential for hormone balance. Option 3. A cup of bone broth with pumpkin seeds and turmeric. Strange? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. Bone broth supports gut lining integrity and joint health. Pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc, a critical mineral for testosterone, and turmeric reduces inflammation across the board. The point isn't just to eat differently, it's to break the cycle of autopilot choices that feel normal but chip away at your strength day after day, year after year. You don't have to give up flavor. You don't have to eat like a monk, but you do have to stop believing that a light breakfast of toast and juice is harmless. Because if your breakfast is draining your testosterone before 9 a.m., what chance does your body have the rest of the day? Stay with me, because in the next section, we enter the sweet territory of 3 fruits that enhance blood flow to the most important regions of your body. You want vitality, but most days, you feed your body like it's already surrendered. Men over 60 often feel the weight of fatigue, poor circulation, and diminished intimacy, blaming time as the culprit. But the truth is more confronting. It's not age that's robbing you. It's what you put on your plate. Specifically, the absence of certain fruits that quietly unlock blood flow, restore endothelial health, and revive the very mechanism your body uses to achieve an erection. It starts with a fruit that looks like blood because it heals it: pomegranate. This is not about juice trends or exotic detoxes. It's about polycollagens, a compound so powerful it protects your arteries from stiffness and decay. These antioxidants repair the thin lining of your vessels, where nitric oxide is made. Without nitric oxide, your arteries don't expand, and if they don't expand, blood doesn't flow. Not to your muscles, your brain, or the parts of you that once made you feel alive. One study published in the International Journal of Impotence Research found that men who consumed pure pomegranate juice daily experienced measurable improvement in erection strength without a single pill. You don't need liters, just 100 ml of cold-pressed, unsweetened juice each day. Drink it like medicine, not like pleasure. Let it work quietly, consistently, until the flow returns. Then there are blueberries. Tiny, overlooked, underestimated. But these aren't snacks. These are weapons. Packed with anthocyanins, flavonoids that relax arteries and allow blood to move freely, blueberries don't just improve vascular function, they protect it. In a Harvard study involving over 25,000 men, those who consumed berries rich in flavonoids like blueberries had a significantly lower risk of developing erectile dysfunction. This isn't hype, this is data. 1 cup a day, that's it. Eaten raw, preferably with protein or even alone as an afternoon habit. Over time, they don't just protect your heart, they reactivate your ability to feel, perform, and respond. And then comes avocado. Yes, a fruit. Yes, a powerhouse. Forget what you think you know about it. Behind the softness is strength. In every gram of its healthy fats, magnesium, and vitamin B6. These nutrients regulate testosterone, balance cortisol, and directly impact libido and drive. You can't produce testosterone without fat, not the processed kind, but the monounsaturated gold found in avocados. A man who avoids fat avoids his own fire. Half an avocado a day, with lemon, with olive oil, with black pepper, isn't trendy. It's restorative, it's biological, it's essential. These aren't suggestions, they're signals. Signals to your blood vessels, your nervous system, your hormones, that you haven't given up, that you're willing to change, that your future isn't defined by pills or silence, but by the foods you choose starting now. Every fruit here was designed by nature to heal circulation, lower inflammation, and spark renewal. This isn't about a better night, it's about a body that
flows again, and with blood flow
comes freedom. In the next section, you'll meet a seed once used by ancient warriors to build stamina, power, and virility, and discover how one spoonful a day could restore everything you thought time had taken away. It's small, almost invisible. You could hold hundreds in the palm of your hand and never suspect the force they carry. But for centuries, this seed was a secret weapon, not sold in pharmacies, not patented by corporations, just passed from warrior to warrior, generation to generation, because those who knew its power didn't just survive, they dominated. We're talking about pumpkin seeds. Yes, those humble, overlooked seeds scraped from the inside of a squash and often thrown away. But inside each one lies a combination of nutrients almost perfectly engineered for male vitality: zinc, magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, and tryptophan. All of them deeply connected to testosterone production, blood circulation, mood stability, and, most importantly, sexual performance. Zinc is not optional. It is the foundation. Without it, your body cannot produce testosterone, period. And as you age, your zinc absorption plummets while your need for it rises. This isn't a detail, it's a disaster. Studies have shown that even mild zinc deficiency leads to a measurable decline in testosterone levels in older men. And most men are deficient magnesium, which we've already met, works alongside zinc to regulate blood pressure, muscle contraction, and nerve function. When combined, they don't just maintain hormonal balance, they accelerate repair, improve sleep, and fight inflammation at its root. But pumpkin seeds do more than restore. They protect. They contain phytosterols, plant compounds that naturally reduce the size of an enlarged prostate and improve urinary flow, problems many men over 60 accept as normal. But they're not normal. They're signals of internal dysfunction, and a handful of these seeds each day can begin to turn that dysfunction around. How to take them? Simple. 2 tablespoons daily, raw, unsalted. You can eat them as they are. Sprinkle them over salads, add them to oatmeal, or grind them into a smoothie. But the secret isn't in how you take them, it's in consistency. Because while medications try to force the body into compliance, these seeds nourish it into cooperation. And if you want to go deeper, combine them with maca root, an adaptogen from Peru known for restoring libido, energy, and fertility. Or pair them with a teaspoon of raw honey, which supports nitric oxide production and testosterone absorption. These combinations aren't just traditional, they're strategic. And they speak to the wisdom of ancient systems that understood something our modern world has forgotten. Food is information. It tells your body what to do. So when you eat these seeds, you're not just snacking, you're sending a message, to your arteries, to your brain, to your hormones, that your story isn't over. That strength, power, and virility are not gone. They're dormant, waiting, and you now hold the key. But we're not done yet. Because this journey isn't only about restoring physical function, it's about reclaiming dignity, confidence, identity. And in the final segment, we slow down and return to what all of this truly means. You've come far, through symptoms long ignored, habits mistaken for health, and foods that carry far more power than they appear to. But this was never just about blood flow, never just about testosterone. It was about something deeper, something every man over 60 feels, but rarely speaks aloud. The quiet fear of fading, not being seen, not being useful, not being a man in the full sense of the word. Strong, decisive, intimate, vital. That fear ends here, because with every beet sliced, with every handful of seeds, every shift in your breakfast plate, you're not chasing youth. You're reclaiming agency. You're saying, I still decide, and that decision echoes through your veins, your breath, your posture. Health doesn't come in noise. It returns in silence, as warmth in the legs, clarity in the morning, steadiness in the mind, firmness in the grip. As the feeling that your body still answers you, you are not past your prime. You are past the distractions, and that is your edge. In the end, what you eat is not just nutrition, it's declaration, a statement to your biology that you still care, that you're still in the fight, that you haven't surrendered your dignity to time. So sit with that truth. Let it settle in your bones like magnesium in your cells, because vitality doesn't scream, it hums, in quiet blood flow, in restful sleep, in a walk without pain, in a night without shame, and it all begins right there at the dinner table.